So actually a few months ago, when I mean for a few months ago, I'm literally meaning like November, I had this whole protocol that I was setting up of I was gonna buzz my hair, and I unplugged everything. I unplugged my Xbox, I unplugged like all the devices around me, and I was going to spend 2-3 months just focusing solely on work. So obviously there was some resistance here because like I don't really spend too much time on my devices to begin with, but it was such a massive jump because I mean, I'm already quite disciplined. I believe so. I'm quite disciplined with my diet, with me, how much time I actually spend on doing habits. But I was so focused on like seeing other people who honestly like we're just not the same person, and I would believe that since they made so much success from going into this monk mode state, that I should be doing it as well. I will tell you, monk mode is an excellent tool. Notice how I said tool. But the problem with that is that you use tools whenever you can't fix something. Use tools to solve a problem. But generally speaking, this tool won't be great long term. Like, let me explain. So a lot of the times people like to go on like these hard reset protocols to try to like rearrange their life. But the problem with that is that a lot of people do like a time period where it's like, for 3 months, I will focus only on this. Now, that is good, but you know what would be even better than that? Because I'm not going to tell you you're going to walk away and not be a better person. I buzzed my hair off. Like I said, I did that whole thing. I unplugged my Xbox. I still don't have my Xbox plugged back up because I gave that up. I'm like, dude, to be honest with you, like, I feel really good when I don't play my Xbox. Like, it's one of those things where you have a lot of good experiences from it, but I'll tell you this, the thing that's even better than doing monk mode is simply figuring out how to make a monk mode for your life. So what I mean by this is a lot of the times people will make this, will have this idea that if I do this for a period of time, then the rest of my life will be better. But you don't understand the fact that like after the monk mode's over, you're just gonna go back and being to the person that you were before. So instead of monk mode, we want to make a different lifestyle, because monk mode will help you kind of skyrocket that new identity, that new person that new version of you that's actually going to go up there and go do the work and go crush that shit like it's light work. Like, that's going to be great. Of course it is. But you want to be like that after monk mode's over, right? You don't want to go back to being that same bum before who couldn't get his shit done because like some BS reasons. You want to make permanent change. So what I'd advise you to do is, instead of doing stuff like 75 hard or monk mode or all these different things, figure out a way to actually maintain that to your daily life. Because the moment you stop showing up, or in this case, the moment that your challenge is done and you can go back to doing whatever you want, then you'll notice that it's much easier to just go back to being that person you were before. Because this version of you now that you are not happy with, he will stay with you forever. It's not something you're gonna get rid of. Dude, like, okay, I focused a lot on trying to improve my speaking skills. I focused a lot on trying to be a better speaker in front of people my entire life. I started lifting weights, trying to better myself, my appearance. But let me tell you that at the end of the day, I'm still that one really shy dude who needs to hype himself up before I go talk to a different group of people who I've never talked to before. I'm not like a completely different person. That part of you is still going to be there. That part of you that you really despise and you really blame for all your problems, dude, he's still going to be there whenever monk mode's over with. This is why I mean, like, you have to keep yourself accountable. Like, this period of time is only going to do so much for you. Trust me when I say if it wasn't for the fact that I went on a protocol before where I shaved my head, I focused only on my work, only on things I'm trying to do to improve myself. If it wasn't for those times, I would not be here speaking with you. I would not be here telling you about my experiences with fitness, with health, with just life in general. But you need to understand that the thing that works even better than this is to have a daily thing. Like, because monk mode normally is going to be like this really like one, not like this complete like 180 in terms of like the way that you carry your life. Like, instead of playing games, you go on a run. Instead of I don't know, like watching videos, you meditate for like an hour a day. Like, it's just the absurdism, because this is a great way to really like completely change your life. But the best thing to do is to bring it down a little bit and then maintain that moving forward. Stop doing like these 3-month challenges for these things. Like, what happens afterwards? Like, have you ever asked yourself, like, what happens afterwards whenever this challenge is over? Of course, yeah, I'll be a really good person after this. In fact, I might be a completely different person after. But that part of you, that past part of you that before you started the challenge, is still gonna be there. He doesn't leave, dog. He doesn't like just disappear whenever the challenge is over. That's not how things work. That's not how they're ever gonna work. That's why you need to constantly hold yourself accountable. And I know this sounds difficult, but to be honest with you, like, that's the only way you're gonna change. Like, I didn't feel like going to the gym today because that lazy part of me, that lazy Sam, did not want to really go because I was already sore and I didn't feel like going again. But I showed up anyways because I know I have to. And I know that even if it's just one workout, like, it can mean like the difference between me going back to being that person, that lazy fat version of myself, or me continuing on this path. And like I said, there's going to be times where you fall in between. If you don't fall at least one time up on this journey, then I don't know, like if you're a real person, to be honest with you. So moving forward, like, what can you gain from this? I think really the best thing that you can do is, whenever you're looking at like these different protocols, it could be monk mode, it can be 75 hard, it can be whatever, the hard reset protocol, it doesn't matter. Really take some key points from them, see like what they're trying to do, what they're trying to accomplish, and then try to figure out a way to actually do that in your day-to-day life, like moving forward. Like, this isn't going to be a 3-month or like a 1-month challenge or 75 days. You want to be able to maintain this day-to-day life. Like, imagine you have to do this every single day. So instead of you meditating for, I don't know, like an hour a day, instead you meditate for like 30 minutes every single day. You may be thinking, oh, well, that's half the time. Well, yeah, but you have to do that every single day. It's not like 3 months and then you can do whatever you want afterwards. You have to do this every single day. You see what I'm putting down? Figure out a way to make this to make this new version of yourself with this new plan, because that's how you actually not only get progress, but you actually maintain it. That's why you see so many of these people who just easily become rich, but then after a couple months and a couple years, they lose all of it in bankruptcy, because it's easy to get the success that you want, but it's hard to actually maintain that. Like, let me tell you that, like, to actually lose weight, whenever I actually sat down and actually focused on only trying to lose weight, it really wasn't that hard, because I fell in love with the progress. First of all, I fell in love with the journey. And what I learned from most of it at all was that, like, it's so easy to go back to being that old person. So your goal isn't to have this period of time where you're just like really, really focused. The whole goal that you should probably really set in mind is for a longer period of time, for a year, upwards to like 5 years. I'm gonna focus on doing this thing, on doing like these set of things that are set in monk mode to a little bit less, and I'm gonna just focus on it. Now, the higher up you get, obviously this actually changes. Like, for instance, if you're a CEO, there's gonna be like a year where you only do work. You spend like 12-hour days just only doing work. This is different because, like, genuinely you're up there. But if you're starting below, because if you're watching this, you're probably at like a lower level where you're really just trying to break that wall. You're trying to break that wall that a lot of people run into, that roads from going from beginner to intermediate. That's like one of the hardest ones to go to, because you're constantly trying to fight against that old identity that you had before that keeps telling you, no, I don't want to do this. But let me tell you is that like spending that time like really grinding in monk mode is going to help you break through it. But then after it's over with and you don't actually maintain those habits you had before, you're going to fall right back under, and you're just going to go right back into being that same person that you were before. It's important that you actually like understand what I'm trying to say is that you need to actually focus on trying to make this a daily thing. This isn't a period of time. This is really like a part of your life. Originally, I just wanted to, I would go to the gym. I wanted to go to the gym for just a few months just to get that weight off, just to look better. But then I started actually like fall in love with just weightlifting and actually like seeing what my body is capable of. And now I still go after a year and a half because I actually love it. I can say this to you with a smile. This is the kind of life that you want to live. You don't want to live like a period of your life like you're a monk, because you're not a monk. You're somebody who is trying to break out of that shell of being that old person. So I will tell you that monk mode is an excellent tool, but you need to figure out a way to make it long term so that you can actually reap the benefits. That's all I have for you.